Hello and welcome. It's Chris Ann and I'm coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chris Ann, and I'm back with another sealing wax video because we haven't done enough. But look at these really pretty things that I'm making. I am making these beautiful sealing wax flowers. And how simple are these? And you can see I'm even doing some two-tone ones. So what I'm doing, if you haven't seen my other sealing wax videos before, go back and check some of those out. I did a whole series of them last week. What you need is you need a candle. So I have a candle under here going. I have this special stand with this special spoon. In this spoon goes this special sealing wax pellets. Here's the pellets. Kathy Rose is in the other room barking. So if you hear her, she's just barking. It's probably because we have the turkeys in the yard. But whatever. And then I have silicone mat under everything. I have a silicone scraper. That's a double-ended type of scraper. This is more of like a flat. This is pointy. I have different silicone tools here. I don't know if we're going to be using those, but I just kind of left them here. And then I have this mold. So a lot of us have these molds. This particular one I did get on Temu quite a long time ago. And, you know, there's so many things that you can do with these molds. These are those flexible sort of rubbery molds, and the key is to have something that's rubbery so you can pop out what you're doing, and that's precisely what I'm going to do here. This is still, I think it's still warm, but you can see I've started to do a two-tone one. So I did just a little bit of melted wax right here, and then I'm going to pour a different color around it. So this one, see, I did something in the middle that's different than the other sides. So how cool is that? I did that for this one too. This one I did dots on the edges as well as a dot there. And that one is this one. That's this one. This one is this right here. This is this. This is this. And this one is this one right here. So, Temu. But I have seen things like this on, oh, see, it's pulling right apart. I'm pushing from the back. How pretty. How pretty. So, let's get, I only have a little bit going in there. I should have been getting some colors in here sort of melting. Let's do a little bit of this pretty green, this green. I don't have any greens going here. Let's do this green, and then let's add sort of this turquoisey color. And I put a whole bunch in there. Now I did have some leftover colors from the last little bit of flowers that I was making. The only thing I have to say is these pick up every piece of dog hair and everything. So you have to make sure the inside are clean and clear. And let me just sort of give that a tap. Yeah. Once these are dry, or hardened, I should say, once they're hardened, they pop out so easily. Like this is incredibly simple. You just have to make sure that you're safe. Like I'm using this silicone mat. I thought I got this one on Temu, but I didn't. This one is either from the Dollar Tree or it's from Hobby Lobby because I bought them at both places. I know one is one color and one's the other color. This might be the Hobby Lobby one. I can't remember. But I know all my other stuff, other than the wax. The wax I did get on Amazon. And in my other wax seal videos, if I didn't put the link for the waxes in the description, I put it in the comment section. So you can check that out. There was a really, really, really cool set that I found, and it was only $40. It included 4 of these, 4 color versions of these, plus, you know, like this stuff. I don't think it came with this, but it came with these things, plus it came with some of the, you know, like the stamps, and I think it came with at least 1 handle. It came with a whole bunch of stuff, and it was in the $40 range. I did not think it was bad for everything that was in the kit. I am keeping my eye on that particular kit for the Amazon Prime sale, which is next week. I'm just poking at this to make sure it's fully melted. I'm going to give it a little bit of a swirl. Whoops. Little bit of a swirl. When you give it a swirl, you get something like this. See how it's kind of swirled in there? We're going to go to here. Let me just move this. Now I'm coming more on the edges. I am filling in the edges. I'm trying to go slow, but you know, this stuff hardens up pretty quick. And let's pull that away. Let's put a little drop in the center right there. Oops, a little too much. And then I can just do a little drop in the center right here. There, let me wipe that off. Now this is kind of moving, so I can come in with my silicone tool. Now when this dries on the silicone tool, I can pop it off and put it back in there. And I wipe the bottom of my spoon off right here. Pop that in. For this one, let's do some blue. So there's going to be a little bit of green mixed in with that blue, but that's perfectly fine. Oh, let's do a bit of purple in there too. Now, I'm using all these up. I'm nearing the end of all of these. I have more, but I want to use all this up. Frankly, I can use the container for other things. Now, this one, I can tell it's still, see, it's not pulling away. Well, it's pulling away a little bit actually, but not, well, it is, but it isn't. I want to let this one harden up a lot more. These, I'm going to be pouring hot wax around them and on them, so they might get re-melted a little bit. That doesn't bother me. I just kind of poke at this sometimes just to kind of get it, encourage it to melt a little bit quicker, get it sort of a little more melty. And I am going to give this one a swirl. Now it's just a tea light that I have under this. That's what you use with this. It's just a tea light. And I have this really cool USB rechargeable lighter. My dog, for some reason, detests the sound of this. She runs. I don't know what high-pitched sound that sucker makes, but it's a something. It makes some crazy sound. She goes ballistic. So just FYI on that one. This one still has sort of little chunks in it, and I don't want the chunks. So let's give this a little bit of a stir. Okay. Feels less chunky. I'm going to pour around the edge, around that center. I can just come in and do just a little bit. Yeah, I don't like that one. Let me grab this. This is my flat end to the scraper, and let's just add a little bit more here before it completely hardens up. It's pretty hardened up. Yeah, I'm not gonna like that one. It's okay, I can remelt it. Let's melt a little bit more blue and purple so I can add it to that one. Now, when that one's done, I want to show you some other stuff. See that wax leaves little sort of strings. Pick them up, put them back in the pot. Clean off your tools, put those back in the pot, melt all that in. I don't mind my colors mixing. There are people that come in and clean off the spoon between each and every color so they get very specific colors without like the contamination of other colors. That doesn't bother me. I like the marbling artsy look. Look at that. Oh, that's neat. So I did just a dot in the center of a different color. How cool. How cool. So for the outside of journals, etc. These are really neat. I'm working on a series of really tiny small journals. I'm kind of contemplating maybe some of these because to me, look at, if I did, let's do those three. Look at just a little cluster. Well, let me do it in my hand so I can lift it up. But just a cluster. How pretty. Like, it really elevates it. And it's almost, especially that, depending on the colors used, almost a little sort of vintage looking. Let me encourage this to melt a little bit quicker. Let's give it a stir. Okay, we're going to clean off that pokey tool. Let's continue filling this in. If I don't like how it comes out, I'm just going to remelt the entire thing. Okay. Now, I have a little bit left in here. Let me show you what I can do. So I have my pokey tool. It's got like a finer tip on it. I'm going to pick up some of this wax and I'm going to come in and I'm going to paint. I'm going to put it in the centers, the edges. See, it makes those little strings. Pop those back in. It's almost like glue gun strings. But you can come in and you can paint with this. There, there's that one. There's that one. Any of the ones that sort of have centers, just come in and add. Now, the other thing you can do is come in and paint the petals. And then I'm going to put a completely different color over that. There's something in there. There. Let me remelt that. There. Let me bring this up here so you can see it. You see how I didn't fill the whole thing in. I just sort of painted some of the petals. I did the center, did the center, did the center, 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 center. Let me add a little bit more to that center. There. Okay. And let's get, I don't know what color. Well, it needs to be a contrasting color for these. So let's just use up some of these copper, pink kind of colors. Some reds, bronzes. I'll just do a whole bunch of those. All right, now this one's ready to come out. Yeah, I'm not whacked about that. Let me add that back in there. Yeah, I don't like that one. I'll probably remelt that one. I have a feeling I'm not gonna like this one. Oh, it's better than I thought. Yeah. I'll keep that one. I'll hold on to that one. I'll use that one. That one didn't totally bother me. But you see how addicting they are to make them and how quick they go. Okay. Get that little thing out of there. Okay. As soon as this all melts, I can use this in multiple, hopefully, multiple flowers. I am gonna give this a swirl. That center is still not melted. You can see how chunky it is. See? See, it sort of moves as a mass. The edges are melted. Okay. Let's see, let's go here. Okay, let's kind of scrape. There. All right, a little bit more than what I wanted got there, but if I need to come in and trim the edges, like you see this one, kind of a little bit extra along the edges, I can come in and trim that. I don't want that one, so let's remelt that one. Although, I think it's the same color as these centers. So let's add some other color to this. Not a lot of this goes to waste with me. Let's add that. Let's add that. You know what? Let's add that color just because it's so strikingly different than the rest. There. We'll let all that melt. It doesn't flow into the crevices as much as you think. You have to take your little spoon here and kind of hold it over each section. It kind of starts to harden up a little bit quicker than you think. So I mean, if you want to take a pin and do it, but you have to do it super, super quick, like mega quick. But it's still fun. And if it doesn't come out right, remelt it. Not a big deal. And those little teen lights keep this melting pretty good. That's still warm. It's a little squishy. You know, they're also a little thicker than you think working with these flowers. There, you see that lighter blue? That's what I wanted to see. Let's kind of give this more of a stir. There. Okay, where should we go? Well, this one's deeper looking than this one, so maybe we'll do this one first. And I'm coming around to each of those petals. There. Now, out of all of that, I got 2 flowers done. 2 more flowers that I want to do. There. I think this is done. Let's kind of try not to disturb the others. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's a little leaf. I could have done a little bit of green there. So I did the 2-tone on that. And you see how it's a little coming over the edge here? Where'd I put my scissors? Here. I want to come in and I want to cut all that away around the edge. And I can pop it right in there. Still feels a little soft. Yeah, that one's cute. You want to come in and glue a jewel in it at the end? That's fine. But all of this wax stuff is so fun and addicting, and it's endless. This was one of the things I knew I was going to do when I got these molds on Temu. Now I've had them a little bit of a time before I've actually used them. I'll clean off some of this. think that's done. Ooh, that one's pretty. A little bit of space behind that center, but that's okay. That one's pretty. I like that one. Yeah, that's this one. I like this one. This one. I don't know if this one is this one right here. Because I like, or is it this? No, it's not that one. It might be this one. Because I like that one. Oh, let's see how this is melting. A little bit more to go. There. Okay, let's come here first. This one's sort of a little bit more to fill in. Okay, we can do just a little bit in the center. Right there, we can do a center. Right there. 2 flowers, 2 centers. I'm good with that. Whoops. Some of those strings. All right, now we need to do something contrasting from those centers. So let's do some turquoise, some greens. Oh, you know what? I haven't used the silvers. And I have the black too. Let me pop in another silver. Blue, green, silvers. That will contrast to that because that's very bronzy, coppery kind of colors. Pop that in. Those aren't squishy. Oh, that one's nice. And you know, these aren't too thick. Can you see that? As long as you're not, I mean, there's some that are a lot thicker than others that I kind of really overfilled. That one's a lot thicker. But for the most part, they're not that thick. Yeah, that's the one. I like this one. That's probably one of my favorites. That one. All of those are the same one, I believe. Oh, no. Those two are the same, and those two are the same. So that's that one and that one, I believe. This is this one. This is this one. And I mean, I'm working with sort of what's left over of my wax palettes. You can get these, like the whole box will be pastel. The whole box will be primary colors, you know, whatever. I'm just working with my leftovers at this point, what I'm calling my leftovers. What's sort of left in my container. I've gotten a lot of projects out of these. And they don't melt unless they're over an actual flame. So keep that in mind. If it's like 98 in your house, they're not melting. They might get a little soft, but they're not melting. It's about 85 in my house right now. I don't have air conditioning. I just have one fan going on me. And these are hardening up. I mean, They're hard. And these are hardening up relatively quickly too. So, I mean, my house is hot. Okay, so let's see. This one's a little bit deeper, but this one has more funky edges. Well, we'll just go to this one first since it's further. And I try and cover up that center if I'm able to. And what I can do, whether I'm going to use them now or not, I can come in and paint my centers. Oops. Now I'm not using a paintbrush because this will gum up the bristles. I'm using the pointy end of my silicone tool. A stylus will work also because I have done this with a stylus. A metal stylus. I'm just going to do some layers here in this rose. There. Okay, this is a leaf, so let me add a little bit of green to that leaf. There. Okay. I like all that. Now let's see what contrast I have left. All right, let's just do a whole bunch of these reds, pinks. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not going to get all 5 out of that scoop. We'll do that for now. I can come in and do silver and black in this one. Could do it in these too. I don't know, we'll see. But you see how quickly these melt and how quickly this whole thing goes. I mean, yes, I started with some of these as demo pieces before we got started, but nonetheless, you see, oh yeah, these are dry, how quickly this is going. Oh, I like that one. It's another one of my up there favorites. That's really pretty. Oh, that came out nice too. Super happy with this project. If I had more pinks and purples and yellows and reds, these would be a little bit more vibrant. I mean, these right now are very Victorian-ish looking, which frankly works with my journals because my journals are sort of, I don't know, of those colors, I guess. Let's get this melted. This is kind of a coppery, bronzy kind of color. Okay. Let's go here. We'll do this one next. There. And then these three. Let's do some silver and black. Oops. And of course, there's some of that gold coppery tones in there anyways. You see, I only have a few left, but that's okay. I'm going to use these right up. And then this color I can use to do centers. These still a smidge warm, but not bad. Clean off my tool. It's kind of another sort of craft along with me as I get a bunch of these made. Now in this mold, there's 3, 6, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 flowers here. And in a little over a half an hour, including my demos, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. About to have 19, 20, 21 done in definitely under an hour. That works for me. The black takes just a smidge longer to melt than some of the others, and I am going to give that a swirl so that it swirls the black in. I want that a little bit more defined. Now you can get these molds on Amazon, on Temu. Michael's used to sell them years and years and years ago. I don't know that I've seen them in Hobby Lobby, but you can get, there's companies now that make them. So you can go on to the different online stamping, scrapbooking, journaling companies. A lot of them are selling them. I have all different types. There's another project that we're going to be making with another type that I have. Similar to this, but different theme. There, look at that. How it's much, much, much darker. So that other one's going to be in another video. Okay, I want to come to this rose one. Yeah, that one I filled a little too much. Yikes. I need to remelt that. This did not get in those crevices. I'm going to take my scraper tool. I'm going to try and scrape some onto that. I hope that one's not a loss. All those strings come out when it's drying too quickly. Yeah. All of this is wax. I just want to do a center here. I have found that the black typically is a different sort of, I don't know, consistency. Okay. This one may end up being a hot mess. Let's see if I can clean it up a little bit while it's still in the mold. Some of those little strings. You know what? I'm wondering. Oh, I used all those colors. Let's see. Let's do some of these bronzes, some of the greens. Just kind of chuck a bunch of stuff there. And I'm going to see if I can come and paint some into this. If I didn't get this so thick, I would have had enough for that. Let's take this one out. Oh, that one came out pretty. With the green leaf. I like that. Yep, that's done. That's done. So let's take these out. Oh, that's pretty too. Love that. Love, love, love that. Nice. Very, very nice. Let's get this one a little bit more melty. See if I can come over here and kind of paint a little bit. There's a couple areas that need a little help. And I don't care what the back looks like because I'm going to be gluing it on to like a journal or something. There. It's a hot mess looking thing. That's all right with me. I keep moving that candle underneath. There. Just give that just another little second. Yeah, just, I'm warning you. Oops. These are addictive. They're really fun to make. See, all these little string things, but those will come off. Let's see what this hot mess looks like. Yeah. Kind of a hot mess. No, I don't like that one. Let's remold it. And if I add one more into that, let's do a green, then that should get in there fine. I'm not worried if I don't like it. I just pop it back in to be remelted. And I've only done that with, what, 2? Out of all of these, I think. I think it's 2. Pretty good odds, I think. Pretty good numbers. This is getting sticky underneath here. So let's, excuse me, let's wipe that off. So this is the one, the rose, that is green, black, and silver. You can't quite tell. You can tell a little bit when the sun hits it. It's a rose with the center off to the center. I think I would have rathered it better centered. I know, it's just not one of my favorite flowers here in the mold. But it doesn't have to be. I remind myself that I'm making things to sell or to give to other people. I mean, I'm not going to give something I think is crap. But I don't have to be in love with absolutely everything. Somebody's going to like it. Like, there are people that like pink things. I don't like pink things. I'm not making pink things. It's not my thing. But you know what? There's a gazillion people out there that like pink things. So just because it doesn't necessarily appeal to me, doesn't mean I still shouldn't make it and try and sell it. You know, that's one of the hardest things to remember when you're selling things is you're not necessarily making things for yourself to sell. You're making things for other people. And that helps you to recognize that you can't hold on to everything. It's okay to let things go. And it's okay to create outside of your niche, your bubble, your window. And most of the time I do. Do I always? No. Most of the time I do, though. All right, these are still feeling a little on the squishier side. Let's pop that in there. Now, which one was I going to do? This one. Not 100% melted yet. Still a little chunky. There we go. Just let it just do its thing just a second more. I'm doing the edges first, then I'm filling in the center. There. I'm going to do this one, and then I think I'll do this one. Whoops, nope, I don't want all those threads. We'll do that. Nice. And then let's just use up what we got. And we'll do whatever we can. Not sure if that's enough to get, oh look at, I've used them all. Not sure if that's enough to get both of those flowers made, but you never know. Let's give it a try. Okay. Ooh, the bottom of that has a lot on it. Let me clean that off. Once the candle is out of this and the wax on this hardens, I scrape it off with my fingernail off of this itself. And there's always some on the bottom of the spoon too. So this will be our last one. I do have more wax, but for this project, these will be the last ones. I think this is fun. I think this is a fun project. It's different than what you might see with journals. I mean, I've never seen anybody make them. I've seen people make these with other media, and I'm going to do that too another day, not today. So let's just get this all nice and melty. Because I put that lighter sort of turquoisey color in there, when everything's melted and I give it a swirl, that is going to show up nicely. So it's taking a little extra time here to melt, or is it just me being impatient? Could be both. Still gloppy. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Okay, let's just let that sit and sort of cook a few more minutes. Let me put it over the candle. There we go. It's bubbling a little bit. There you go. Okay. Coming around to each petal. Come over here. I'm gonna have to do my scraper. Well, let me just melt what's in there. Kind of cover up all the little holes and spaces. Kind of fill all these in. There's my stomach talking. Fill all that in. All right, we're just going to leave that be. I can clean up the hot messness of it once it's a little more solid and dried. Cleaning this up with my fingernail. And let's check these. Very pretty. Oh yeah, I like that. Oh, nice. Just clean up a little bit on these edges. I can do it with my fingernail. I can do it with scissors. I pop it back into the spoon. There. All these little threads. And once these are a little more solid, then we can check those out. Oh, this didn't get quite to that edge. Hopefully it will be okay. Just give it another minute or so. But wow, we got, I'm going to blow the candle out. We got a lot done. My goodness. All right, let me start showing you and then we'll go back and see these. So I'll show you all of them. I like that one. That one's pretty. The two-tone ones are really kind of cool. There's another two-tone one. I think this one's one of my least favorites, but it's still kind of pretty. So I think I'm still going to keep it and not remelt it. A really nice collection of flowers. And they're all sort of the same color scheme. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 in an hour. Pretty good. Let's see how this one came out. Actually, that one came out really good. I'm happy with that one. Add that to my pile. Look at the backs are really pretty too. Here's the front. Now this one, I don't know if this one's going to be a hot mess or what it's going to be. Oh no, that one came out nice. Just clean up this edge. Nope, I like that one. Wow. Really, really nice collection. And if I had had some extras and I just left the centers, it probably would have been fine for next time I came back. Just, don't disturb it so they don't fall out. But wow, really, really good collection. Now, what I've been doing, is it this one? Yeah, it is. It's this one. I've been storing them. Here's my other seal videos, wax seals. And if you remember in those other ones, I added that mica to it. I'm not going to add the mica to these. I kind of like them just the way they are. It looked like a sort of makeup powder palette that we were using, but it is for wax seals. And you can do that to these. Just go back and look at the other videos. Super simple how I did that. And I just kind of keep them all in here. they have been fine for me, kept, you know, sort of like this. If not, I'll remelt them. Is that all of them? That's all of them. So we did this video. We did this video. And then we did this video with the jewel ones, and then the video with them on the folder, the 3-pocket folders. So yeah, I've got a really nice collection going here. Pretty soon I'll eventually just have a container of just wax seal embellishments, but for now we have a little bit of everything in this container. Thank you so much for tuning in. Give this a try. Let me know what you think. I'm going to try and link, if I remember, that set that I like, that I'm personally looking to get myself from Amazon onto, if I don't do it in the description, I will try and do it in the comment section of the video. Please subscribe to my channel. I post a video every single day. So lots of things to see. I'm always doing different sort of projects and stuff. Thank you so much for tuning in. Take care and be free.